Good morning, everybody. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up and comments. I'm doing some testing right now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, awesome. Now, Dwayne, can you hear the drop? Did you hear Kirk Cousins? Give me another thumbs up in here, and I'm going to be happy if I get a yes out of this. Can you hear Kirk? What a good day this is. Know your role and shut your mouth.
Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, canvas open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up. We running and maybe we just keep winning, we conquering daily. A vision that pay me, it's never to sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. It's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. It's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. It's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yeah. Welcome all, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lion Villain Report. It is the Hump Day preview right here. It's Wednesday. It is October the 9th, and the Lions are getting ready to go face the Dallas Cowboys. And today, the Detroit Tigers in game 3 of the series between the Guardians. So we got some great football things that are happening today. We got some great sports things in Detroit that are happening this week. We're broadcasting live into the Lions Villain Report, the Lions Villain Squad Facebook page right there. We have over 54,000 villains in there. We are approaching 55,000. We should be reaching 55,000 today, without a doubt. Let me check the let me check the report. I'm going to check the report. We're sitting at 54,000 right now. We have less than 25 people that we need to get to 55,000 people. So if you have not followed the page yet, please do so right there as we get there, so I can make a new graphic, because I didn't want to make one for 54,000 because we were moving fast. We'll make one for 55,000. I'll make a graphic for that. We are also on YouTube, where you can subscribe to that channel at Lions Villain Squad and hit that like button right now. Hit that like button because it's free and it helps. If you like football content, or you like the Detroit Lions, or really if you like any of the teams in the NFC North, you like that. You like that. Hit that like button. You like that. Listen to Kirk. You look at that button. Look at that like button and go, you like that. You do. You like it. Thank you for that. Whoever just did that. Right there. We are live in the Detroit Lions news podcast page. They're approaching 80,000 Lions fans in there. Thank you to Joe Chapp and the boys for allowing us to be on your page and broadcasting into it, and JC Sports Network on YouTube. We appreciate that. We are brought to you by NFL Shop. We are affiliate marketing partners. So allow me to throw in our Lions gear into the comments right now. If you use this link that I'm throwing in there right now, you can get up to 30% off of your order. You get that slick looking black and blueberry Jahmyr Gibbs jersey, and get 30% off of that courtesy of NFL Shop. It's faith, family, and then football on here. We use football to create memories and spend time with our family. We don't let football use us. And then my wife, she's an advocate for autism awareness. We here at the Villain Squad have decided to use our stars. So if you comment using stars, we're going to give that all to her so she can keep her page going. She's sharing resources for parents with children that have special needs. And she's also sharing the journey with my son, who's a 5-year-old autistic boy. He's beautiful. And he actually has a rare genetic disorder called Jared 2. And the University of Michigan is doing a study on him, and she is taking people along the ride on that study as we go forward with that. But that's where the stars program goes to doing that. And here we are. This is the Lions Villain Report. I'm your host, Russell Wayne. Let's go say hello to everybody in the comments right here. Good morning to Henry Gray. Faith, family, and then football. One pride. Let's go. Dwayne Keene in the house. And I love reading this one every day. Let's go. Detroit Lions, number one pride. Kings of the North Division. Championship title. All grit. Never back down. 3-1. And I'll even add, let's make it 4-1. Let's go Detroit Tigers baseball. It's going to be electric. You like that? You like that? I like that Tigers team. I love having my drops back. I don't have it in my ears. That's the problem that I've had. I just have to kind of like deal with it. I can hear it on my end, but I can't hear music. I can't hear the stuff in the background through my podcast machine. But as long as you guys can hear the drops, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. What's up, Davey? Good morning. One pride, it takes more. Good morning to Jeremy B in the house. Good morning, Russell. 53 today. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I gave you a happy birthday from Christopher Walken the other day, but I guess we have to do it again because it's official. And if Christopher Walken was here and he was staring at you, he would say, Jeremy B, happy birthday to you. Hey, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Birthdays could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life. Happy birthday to Jeremy B from your friend, Christopher Walken. Well, there you go. Happy birthday. I love it when Christopher Walken sings. Doesn't he have a great singing voice? I think he has a great singing voice. Oh, yes. 54. Oops. You lose track. You typed in your wrong birthday. Has it really been that much? Does the memory go with you? Happy birthday, Jeremy B. Oh gosh, and those were all the people that were here before the the YouTube page gets up there, which is at Lions Villain Squad. Please make sure you go over there and subscribe to that. Sarah's in the house. My favorite Viking fan. Yikes. NFC North teams are coach killers. Lions got the Raiders fired last year. Vikings got the Jets coach fired this year. Who's next? That's right. It's the black and blue division. That's why, Sarah. It's going to be a dog fight to see who wins this NFC North division. I honestly believe that as of right now, you could make a case that all 4 of the NFC North teams are top 10 teams in the NFL. It is what it is, guys. We're the only division in football that has all 4 teams that are over 500. And then we're going to bring in these, or we're going to see these Dallas Cowboys this week. And, we're going to send a couple of guys down there. We're going to send down Frank the Tank. We're going to send down Vinny Gambarino and Joe Cicerelli. And we're going to take care of a couple things before you guys get down there. And listen here, Dak Prescott. Aiden Hutchinson can do whatever he wants to do. You got that? You got that? Oh, my gosh. We're going to have some fun today. I know that it's hump day. We're in the middle of the week, but we're going to make it through. We're going to make it through together. Paul Jones in the house. That gives me a great chance right here to share a tab here. Let me get into my stuff. I'm sorry. Oh, gosh, it's taking me forever to be able to get everything in here. Let me get this in. Sharing some of these tabs, but because Paul Jones is in there, I wanted to put a shout out to the Detroit Lions main event. This is our page, or this is our group, I should say. And our group is better than all the other groups on there. You know why? Because we got Paul, because we have Jeff Addison. And right now in the comments, I am going to throw, because if you're sick of these damn spam posts, you can join our group, which is the Detroit Lions main event right there. And Paul Jones, Jeff Addison, main event Mike, and all of our admins on there are excellent at keeping all those stupid spam posts out of there, bull crap ticket sales and all that. So shout out to you, Paul Jones, for helping the Lion Villain Report and the Villain Squad move forward. Because really, we want to attract a certain type of the fan base. For one, we like the intelligence of a lot of the people that watch this show, especially on the live version. They got good football knowledge from all 4 of the fan bases that are in the NFC North. And we don't like BS. We want to be able to go to a group that we can count on. We have over 20,000 people in there, and it's all good football conversation when you're looking at it. I mean, obviously the Villain Squad is our page, so we post a lot. But right there, Stephen Michael Menina. I always say it's McMania because that's right, brother, because he's one of our super villains as well. But you can be a super villain. You can go in here. You can post in here. You can post your opinions, anything that you want in here. It's a public group. And yeah, we'd love to see you in there. So thank you to Paul Jones for that. All right, let me get back in here. Dwayne Keene, yes, sir. Yes, happy birthday. Got some happy birthday wishes in here to Smoking Jeremy P. And he says that Dak has an infamous record from Monday, too. Became the first NFL QB to throw a pick on 2 days in one game. Oof. We're going to take a look at some of that matchup here in a minute. If I were the coach in a hot seat, I would hate to play an NFC North team right there. We are all dangerous this year. Let's see if that Bears offense can play against someone that other than NFL's second bye week. This code right there, we're brought to you by the NFL shop. You use that code right there, you can get a discount, and you're welcome for that. Some of the I can't put all your stuff. If that black uniforms are blackberries and the blues are blueberries, then are the grays dingleberries. I can't handle you, Jeremy. Good morning to the Villain Squad. Thank you, John, for joining the show. Happy birthday, Jeremy B from Paul Jones. It's Christopher Walken is here. He's one of the good friends of the show. Oh gosh. There we go. Refs better be fair and not against us like always. Well, we got to expect them to be against us, right? Whatever. We can't live and die on that referee thing. I don't like going there. I really don't want to go there. But what I do want to do is compare these teams. Let's just look at them through PFF. From the overall, it looks like the Lions are a way better team according to PFF, way better on offense. They're a little bit better on the pass. We're way better at pass blocking. We got the advantage in receiving. We got the advantage in running. We got the advantage in run blocking. We got the advantage in defense. We got the advantage in run defense, tackling, pass rush. Do they have anything? They don't have anything on us. So according to PFF, special teams, they have a better special teams. So they've been getting better on special teams. So they're better at passing the ball, and we're way better at running the ball. And I think that they're better at passing the ball. They're not all that good at running the ball either. So I'm looking at this just at first glance, just from what the PFF number says, it looks like we should dominate these guys. I don't know. I'm looking at this team, and I think that we're favored in the game. If you look at the point spreads and tomorrow we're gonna get into our lock picks of the week, and the lock picks of the week versus the point spreads. But I wonder what the point spread is right now. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. There we go. DraftKings. We like to use DraftKings. I mean, I don't know which one that you use, but we use DraftKings. So let's see where the line is right now. The Dallas Cowboys. It looks like the Lions are -3 for DraftKings. Sorry, I'm being slow right now. Right there. So the Lions are favored away, and they usually give the home team 3 points. So when I see this line, I'm really thinking that the Lions are favored, like it would be like a 6-point one at home. Is it 3.5? Is it 3.5, Mark, where you're at? So if I were you, Mark, if you were the betting guy and you were going to bet on the game and you were seeing it at 3.5, I would go to DraftKings and I would get the 3. Obviously you don't want to give up more points than you have to when it comes down to it. But the bettors are putting the money on the Lions. And the fact that they're favored away, it's something else. But they're dealing with a lot of injuries too. They're dealing with quite a few injuries. I'm getting some of this stuff around here. I'm kind of finding stuff all at the same time that I'm talking to you, so we can get some of this news from the Lions news. I mean, we got great news. Obviously, we're on a bye week, and we are getting some guys back. Looks like Frank the Tank's going to play. I mean, I don't know how smart that is, but, yesterday Jeremy B seemed to be pretty he used to be pretty confident that the Frank the Tank injury could be actually done right now. Yeah, he could have recovered from this injury already. So what do you think about that? We get Brian Branch back as well. Brian Branch had a concussion in the last game. He got knocked completely unconscious in that game. I mean, he was out cold. But then he got some kind of illness and he missed the game last week. It really didn't have anything to do with the concussion. I didn't think so. Single Dads Club says that I'm hoping that we play a complete game on both offense and defense. Yes, the Lions are still looking for their best all-around game. They haven't played a complete game yet, which is when you're sitting at 3-1 and you haven't played a complete game yet. That's you're feeling pretty good about that because you're trying to get better, and you're not perfect yet, but you're still able to pick up victories. That's definitely a good thing. Definitely a good thing.
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
And that's what we need to be doing.
We're going to bite a kneecap. We're going to bite a kneecap off. We
need to go down into Dallas and take care of business.
Oh,
yeah. Like that. I don't know. I don't want to see no close games in here. I want to see some domination. Is this twisted? No, this is not twisted tea. No, I do just straight caffeine in the morning. I do the straight caffeine in the morning. I drink the Swedish fish caffeinated drink in the morning. Now, I'm not much of the drinker in the morning. David says Gil and Muhammad edge guys. Yes, we picked up a couple guys from the practice squad. The offensive lineman that the Lions drafted in the 6th round, Christian Mahogany, was back at practice. So that's a real good sign there too, because, you can never have too much depth on the offensive line. And he seemed like a more pro-ready prospect than the guy we drafted in the 4th round with Manu. What about Barnes? That's a great question, Jason. Barnes, the injury does not look good. Dan Campbell spoke to the media yesterday and was saying that we would be lucky to get Barnes back this season. They would consider it a plus. So that's not looking good. That's not a good statement. It's not looking good for Barnes. So I think that we should just go ahead and plan on life without Barnes, which creates a different type of opportunity to get, Campbell and Anzalone out there at the same time. Pick up Devin White. I don't know if the answer is on the outside of the organization. We got really, really good linebackers. Malcolm Rodriguez is a good linebacker. Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone. And really, when it comes to linebackers, a lot of times the Lions use that nickel. So they're only putting 2 linebackers out there at one time anyway. Jalen Reeves-Maben is a good linebacker. Nowaski, he played pretty well last week in the short spurt. So I think that we're good on linebacker. I don't think that we need to rush out and get anybody. I don't think that we need to rush out and get anybody. This is the Lion Villain Report. It is October the 9th, and we're talking about the Hump Day preview. The Hump Day preview. The Lions are going to Dallas. Try to get some revenge. Lions going in there relatively healthy. Every team goes through injury. And if you're telling me my only injury is Marcus Davenport, and Derek Barnes, and I know that you don't want to see any of those guys go down, but there are good players on the Lions team that are the next men up that we want to see. Mark says, I hear that I heard we are. Are we going to pick up Devin White? I don't mind any of the players that they pick up. If you want to pick up players from the outside, that's fine. I don't mind that, but I just think that when you're looking at the way that the Lions play and what the Lions have done, in the past, the Lions haven't really been the people to go out and get these free agent guys. We believe in our own progression, and some people think that's one of the downfalls of them, but we depend on the drafting and development of the players. The money that we have that's chilling and over the cap, the money that's sitting there that we seem to think that we have every time a player goes down, and we got to go get these guys. Let's go sign somebody new. Our regime goes, well, look, we have these other guys that we drafted and we've been developing. It's the next man up. Honestly, I would think that, you're going to bring up, the Ukwu from the practice squad. You're going to bring up these guys before you go out and get somebody in free agency. You have, I'm looking at the guys that we have, Trevor Nowaski, and Nowaski, and who was that other linebacker that was on that's on our practice squad that I'm missing somebody. There's another Ben Neiman and Nowaski. These guys have been training, they've been practicing with the team since training camp. I mean, so I understand the intrigue of going out and picking up a guy like Devin White. I like that. But it doesn't seem like it's one of the things that Brad Holmes does. I'm not trying to personally poo-poo it. Personally, if they want to pick up Devin White, I mean, the guy ran a 4.40 at his combine, and he's a big linebacker. He's got speed. He hits. I mean, that's fine. If you want to pick him up and plug him in there, that's fine. I'm sure that we could use a guy with, high-end athleticism to come in here. But here's the thing is he's got to come in and learn the defense. Where a guy like Ben Neiman or Trevor Nowaski or Jalen Reeves-Maybin, they don't have to. They already know it. They've been in practice squad. They've been running a defense. They know Aaron Glenn's defense. That's just who we are. Now, if they go out and they pick up Devin White, that's awesome. I'm sure that Devin White is going to be able to learn the defense before the end of the season, and that's cool. Linebacker depth is pretty solid. That's why we signed 2 new linebackers. Because of the Barnes situation, at least what I think. Yeah, Derek Barnes being down for a long period of time hurts because Derek Barnes had a breakout year last year, and he was even playing better this year. It stinks to lose good players. But if we go after Devin White, what do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think of Devin White as somebody that we could bring in, shore up that linebacker core? Thumbs up, or Y for yes, N for no. Devin White, what do you think? Should we go pick up Devin White? Fred Peterson with a happy birthday to Jeremy P. And still 3 weeks until the trade deadline. Do you think the Lions will make a splash? I mean, do you think that the Lions, is that what we're going to do? We're going to go out because really, how about we even simplify it even further? And we got a lot of yeses in there. It doesn't even have to be Devin White. Do you think that Brad Holmes goes out and gets anybody? Anybody of merit, I should say. Because there's always going to be practice squad guys going around. There's guys jumping off of practice squads and joining other practice squads all over the place all the time. I'm not talking about low-level moves like that. I'm talking about, do you think that Brad Holmes is going to go out and get a name and bring in a name right here before the trade deadline? I mean, it's a great question. It's something that's debated every single week. Every time the Lions have an injury, trade for Max Crosby, even though he's not even available. It's amazing some of the stuff that Jeremy B and I have to talk about on our shows because it's what's out there. And I'll go on record to say I don't think they're going to trade for Max Crosby. I don't think they're going to trade for anybody of a high-end name. It probably won't happen. It probably won't happen. We believe in the development of our players. And I'll ride the Josh Pascal. I'm going to ride this take all the way until it doesn't work. Josh Pascal is the guy. They drafted him in the second round to be the guy opposite of Hutchinson. And in every other scenario where the Lions drafted a guy and it took 3 years to develop that guy, I think that it feels like that's where the sweet spot is for Brad Holmes guys. Barnes broke out in his third year. Ifeatu Melifonwu broke out in his third year. Aleem McNeil broke out in his third year. And here's Aiden Hutchinson in his third year. And even though you thought he played well last year, it really feels like Aiden Hutchinson is breaking out this year in his third year. Josh Pascal just played his best game as a pro at defensive end. And now I know everybody's like, we need to go shore up the defensive end. Okay, that's fine. Go out there and shore up the defensive end. We don't got to go out there and spend multiple first-round picks and go get a name. We don't have to do that. Because you look at our cap space, sitting there at $28 million, you got some contracts that are on the table. After this year, you're eligible to extend Aiden Hutchinson. That's a no-brainer, guys. That's going to happen after this year. The minute that contract can get done, he becomes the number one priority instantly over anybody. So to me, I'm thinking of that while I'm sitting on this $28 million. I'm not thinking about going out and trading multiple first-round picks to try to go get Max Crosby, because that's a max contract. You're going to have to give Aiden a max contract. We are building the team. We are building this team from drafting and saving money because you're drafting the players. The last thing that you would want to do is take away draft capital from this man that can make the most out of draft capital. Why would you take away your best weapon to bring in an unknown commodity? Because that's what you want. If you want Max Crosby, if you want Devontae Adams, if you want Trey Hendrickson on this team, then you want to take away the best commodity that we have, which is Brad Holmes making draft picks. You can criticize all day what he's done in free agency. Oh, you go get injured players. Oh, that you can criticize that. That's fair criticism. You know, he's trying to save a couple bucks in free agency. But one thing that you can't criticize is the way this guy's drafting. I mean, you want to build a statue of a guy that would hit 500 in draft. I mean, there's only like 2 or 3 players that Brad Holmes has drafted that isn't impacting the team in a major way. All of the guys that he drafted have a purpose. And when I look at a guy like Josh Pascal and Levi Onwuzurike, the first thing that comes to mind is like, these were misses. Like from the average Lion fan, you would call him a bust already, just like they called Jameson Williams a bust already. But now, as these players are starting to hit, Levi is having a career year so far, by the way. Levi Onwuzurike as a pass rushing defensive tackle. Yesterday, I went through PFF and found out that the Lions have 4 defensive linemen in the top 10 of the NFC North ranking of defensive linemen. 4 defensive linemen. So Brad Holmes, what he's doing is working.
You like that? Acknowledge me.
So it's only going to get better as long as he keeps on hitting on these draft picks. You know, and you can say the jury's out on these cornerbacks that he took. I mean, we haven't seen much of Ennis Rakestraw. But the thing is, going back to the point is, are we going to go get a guy? Are we going? I mean, Mark says that Pascal is not that guy. How do you know? I just brought up all of the stats yesterday on Josh Pascal, and it comes down to injury and opportunity. Pascal is not that guy because he's never been asked to be that guy. Last year it was the Okwara brothers. Charles Harris was in there. Pascal has never been asked to be that guy. Dwayne Keene says we need to be ready and play smart. I don't know what I missed a comment in here. With a guaranteed contract, Brad Holmes would do the type of pickup cheap 1-year prove it deals. That's what he does on. See, that's the part of Brad Holmes that can get criticized. And I'm good with that. What's up, Elise Memes? The queen of memes is in the house. Mark says White is a veteran. Wouldn't take him long to learn our D. And you know what? I don't think that White would cost as much. Is he a free agent? God, I got to make sure that we're talking about the same thing here. Davey thinks yes, we need to go get some more guys. David doesn't like the trades. Yeah, I don't want to take, like right now, I consider Brad Holmes a weapon, because if he stacks 5 drafts in a row on top of each other like that, they're going to be the best team in the NFL, because who does that? I mean, that means that the core of our team is going to be back here next year, and they're signed to multi-year deals. The first money problem happens in 2026. So whatever we're doing this year, guys, we're running it back. We're running it back. When does Kaminsky come back? Okay, cool. Now I can see where Jeremy's responding. Thanksgiving at the Earth. You can count on Jeremy. He will answer your questions. If not, he will Google that shit for you. Fun on both sides of the ball. Don't forget JMO. Yes, people left JMO for dead. People make such rash and quick decisions on people. It's so funny. You don't look at the long term of things. It's like this knee-jerk reaction. It's so funny every week. Who are we gonna trade for? We gotta shore up this. We gotta. And it's like you forget that there are guys that are practicing with the team right now. Mark says, you say he played his best game as a defensive end and didn't do anything to make me think that he could be that guy. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. He had 2 pressures, by the way, Mark. I love Max, but I love Max, but no, thank you to Devontae. And you know what? If they went and traded for Max Crosby for the now, FM picks kind of trade, that's what it would take. That's okay. I mean, Max Crosby's a proven commodity. And with this defensive middle, it would definitely make the Lions the Super Bowl favorite if they went and they found a way to get Max Crosby on here. They got the cap money. They got the cap money to do it. And that's the question I have to ask you, Mark. Is it all about this year to you? Is it just this year for you? Because the Lions are Super Bowl contenders right now as the team sits. Paul says that I want Crosby. In a fantasy world, we have a QB they want, which saves a first rounder. Trade him and a disgruntled receivers Adams and a trade for him with picks back. If they would go for it. If they would go for it, that's fine. I think it's an early sell. It's an early sell on Hooker. I'll start right there, Paul. We can talk about this. It's an early sell on Hooker, and I'll tell you why. Look at how much his value goes up by playing 2 preseason games. And I really do believe that they extended Jared Goff so they could have both of these quarterbacks on their roster for all 4 years. Because you're building a backup, you're building depth, right? And if you go through this year, and give Goff a straight shot at winning the Super Bowl, you got Hendon Hooker that just completed his 2nd year of a 4-year deal. And can you imagine what his value is going to be next offseason? Especially now that he's going to learn the offense. I mean, if he comes in and he's a Lion, Hendon Hooker, he comes in, he's a Lion. He's going to torch next year's preseason because he's getting up to snuff right now. I was saying I would never want to see, Jared Goff go down in the first, 6 or 7 games because Hendon Hooker wouldn't be ready. But I think week 8, week 9, I think Hendon Hooker would be ready to run this offense. So I think it would be an early sell right now. But if they could get a number 1 pick value out of, in a Crosby deal, I don't know. I like that fantasy trade. Did you pull that one off on the Madden? I wonder if that one would have worked. I love that scenario though, Paul. I mean, think about that. That is something to imagine right there. Max Crosby and Aiden Hutchinson coming at you at the same time. That's destruction with DJ Reader and Aleem in between them. That's destruction right there. Drafting only goes so far. You need top flight experience to add to the equation. Yeah, but what if you're developing that, Brian? What if you're developing top flight? Because they drafted Kirby Joseph in the 3rd round. Took them 3 years to develop this guy, right, Brian? And now he's one of the best safeties in the league. I think he's a top 5 safety in the league. And calm down, Green Bay fans. I know Xavier McKinney's having a better year. But that doesn't make Kirby not having a great year. So you need top flight experience, but you're developing that, Brian, through the drafting. If you hit on a player that becomes an all pro or a Pro Bowl, I mean, he's drafted 5 Pro Bowl players in 3 years. That's insane. Pro Bowl players. And then they became all pros. So the idea is like that's Brad Holmes' superpower, Brian. I mean, drafting can go as far as you need it to go. Drafting is where you're going to have the core of your team. You have to have guys on rookie contracts. You can't just come in and pay all these guys. And last year they signed 3 players to mega deals. And they were all players that have been here since the first year. You extend Sewell, you extend Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff. They were all here since the beginning. And I think they're going to continue to do that. What are you going to draft? Who are you going to pay? You're going to pay the guy that's been there for the entire rookie contract and embodies everything that you are. Aiden Hutchinson's the next guy you pay. You pay Aleem McNeil if you're going to keep him. You try to retain Derek Barnes and you might be able to get him at somewhat of a discount because he's injured in this year, but you could keep him involved. But you go out and you go get a Max Crosby deal. I mean, that whole idea is out. That would make us the number 1 Super Bowl contenders right here, right now, if you bring Max Crosby in here. But the cost. And if we can pull it off let Paul go out there and negotiate this. Because if we can get it done for that, and then you've got to match the contracts, let's go. Have Max Crosby's contract like explode at the same time that, in 2026, let us contend this year, next year with that front, because everybody else is going to be there. I get it, man. I get the appeal of that, but I want to contend with this team. Like, like right now, when I look at the contracts for years, like right now, I believe that the Lions are a Super Bowl contender right now, as it is, with the guys they have. You know, you want to go. I don't consider Devin White a huge signing. I don't think that it's going to cost like a ton of money like these other things that we're talking about. So, Devin White, I mean, go ahead, sign Devin White. You know, if there's a chance to get a free agent, go ahead and do that. But as far as trading, you know, a whole bunch of capital for the future, like if you're trading day 2, day 3 pick or day 1, day 2 picks, oh God, that's such a good thing. Brad Holmes, he was cut by the Eagles yesterday. I mean, that's interesting, man. That's interesting that they would just cut him. Why would they just cut him? Are they trying to find scapegoats? But no, I wouldn't mind them just signing Devin White. He would probably come to a Super Bowl contender for cheap. So they'll have to see. Go get it done. I mean, I don't think it would hurt from a depth standpoint. I like that. Five more drafts like that, and we are a dynasty. He's building the dynasty. I really believe he's building a dynasty. If he keeps going the way that he's going, it's insane. Crosby actually said opposite, that he would only waive his no trade clause to go to Detroit. Wow. I mean, I haven't heard anything from this that would actually pick up steam or anything like that. But I mean, as far as I know, that's not even a possibility. Like 5 more. Oh, wait. Goff will most likely retire a Lion. Hooker, 79 years old before he starts. You know, it's funny. We see it. I think that we see it as fans, like, you know, you got 2 guys that could start, you know, and Hendon Hooker and Jared Goff. And obviously, if one's going to be out there and you're not using the other, we got to get rid of the other one. We got to get value for him. And I think that the Lions as an organization, they see it as stability and depth, right? Like we're going to continue to develop this quarterback because that's what we do well, is draft and then develop. And then you're bringing more value to these players. Like I think this next year going into the offseason, the Lions are going to be able to take advantage of the compensatory draft pick model more this year than ever, because you're not going to be able to re-sign Hutchinson, Aleem, and Barnes. I mean, you're going to have to, just the way that it's set up right now, it's going to be tough to re-sign all those guys. So somebody's going to go sign somewhere else. Let's say Derek Barnes goes and he ends up signing somewhere else. He gets, you know, $10 million a year and signs a 3-year, $30 million a year deal somewhere. The Lions are going to get a compensatory draft pick if they don't replace him in free agency. The Lions will get a draft pick. They'll play that game. So, and what is the best weapon that we have? It's draft picks for Brad Holmes. So I do believe that they're going to build value in some of these players, and then we'll have more draft picks than we have holes to fill. And then when that happens, I could see them packaging up some draft picks to go and get, you know, the guy that could push them over the edge. But when you got guys that you count on that are in there, and look at these guys, man. Like when you think of who's here for a while, you know, you're looking at these top guys. Frank's supposed to be here this year, next year. Goff's got the extension. Taylor Decker did the extension. Panay did the extension. Alex has got one more year. David Montgomery's got one more year. But you got guys in the oven that can replace the production of these said guys. That's what you're starting to build. You know, Jamison Williams is going to be here for a few more years before he needs an extension. DJ Reader's here for 2 years. Zeitler, you have to replace, but you got Mahogany in the oven. Carlton Davis, you're going to have to replace, but you drafted 2 cornerbacks. Aleem McNeil, I mean, I think that you could extend him, right? You got Jack Campbell. He's here for a few more years. Amik's here for a couple of years. Reeves Maben got signed to extension. He's going to be here for a few years. You got to find out if you want to sign a Levi. But look at how many guys that you don't have to even worry about after the end of next year. We get done with this year, most of these guys are still under contract. It's called low drama. So I like, you know, when you go up to the top here, this money rolls over. You can roll that money over and use it if you're going to extend some of these guys. So you could put this in here and have a nice little bed to pay some bonuses out to keep the guys that you have. I think a developed roster that we have right now, you know, Jack Campbell another year better, all these guys another year better. These guys are growing up together. So he said, and this is another shot at Pascal. He said he's shown nothing with the opportunities he had to make anyone think that he is special. He's had with his opportunities, and I disagree with that. I've seen him flash a couple of times, and he hasn't had the opportunities that, you know, that a lot of the other. I mean, you're talking 20, 30 snaps at the most. And this last game, he had the second most snaps that he's ever had in his career at 53. He had 160 game snap last year. And you're right. There's nothing that is, you know, standing out to you, but you're talking about going into the third year. It was the same talking point to Derek Barnes. You know, the same thing was said about Aleem McNeil. Oh, he's just an average defensive tackle. But there's something about the third year with these guys that they make their biggest leap in progression. And there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Huh. Yeah. And here's these guys. They're on a $1.50 contract. They got them till 25. You know, he may not be a plus player, but he's not leaving you embarrassed. He's not playing bad. He's just there, right? Sometimes not being called upon is a good thing, right? You're doing your job. He's been pretty stout versus the run everywhere that I've seen. Lions are in for the long haul, not for the short. The Super Bowl window is going to be open for a couple years, and that's with or without making a move. Dallas is a good example of money can't buy you Super Bowls. That is, you like that? I forgot that I had my "you like that" button. I'm sorry. I could be liking these things. Rewarding good players sends a good message to the other guys. You like that? Yes. You like that? When you go get a Max Crosby and you're about ready to go into a year where you need to pay Aiden Hutchinson, that, I mean, no one's going to complain about having Max Crosby here, but what type of message does that send to the young roster that's been grinding for 3 years on here? We are not getting rid of Hooker this year, maybe in the offseason trade, or if we can pick up a free agent quarterback. Yeah, and it's too early. Don't sell that stock too early. We saw some flashes, continue to develop him. This was the first year that he got to develop in the system. When you're on the PUP and the IR list, you're not allowed to practice with the team. You're not allowed to be in there. But like he had to come off of that list before he could even be in team meetings. So, and last year, Teddy Bridgewater was taking all the reps. He was just out on the scout team, barely learning it. So his first real experience that he's had in the Lions offense was this training camp where he actually got to take all the twos in the reps. And he's learning fast. So, and I expect him, while he is taking all the number twos right now, that I think that Hendon Hooker is probably twice as good of a quarterback in the Lions system than he was week 3 of the preseason. In that last game, he's getting experience week to week to week to week. You progress week to week. You could see him get better from week to week in preseason. Well, now there's been 6 weeks of practice added on top of that. You don't think Hendon Hooker's even better now? Yeah, we'll see. Max just said on a podcast last Friday, he's a Raider for life. So there's that. He does not want out. He does not want out of Detroit. Crosby says that if he was a free agent, Detroit was the only team that he'd want to play for. He does not want out for Detroit. Okay, there you go. Holmes we trust. Spot on, Jeremy. Happy birthday. Yeah, Jeremy with the birthday wisdom. The birthday wisdom by Jeremy B. I'm not having an opinion on Pascal until after the season is done. That's smart right there. Got to see what he can do this season to try and prove himself. All I can do is show you the stats from what I could see. And I'll just, and I don't know if I showed it to you yesterday, but I'm going to show it to everybody else because you're bringing it up. And I want to get in here. Where you at, Mr. Pascal? Right there. Get in there. Get in there. All right. This is his first 4 games here in Detroit. Now, these are low scores. These aren't very good at the beginning, but what I really want you to look at is snap counts. In week 1, he had 22 snaps. And this is just because he has people in front of him. I mean, he's not playing because he's a bad player. He has a rule, and he had 22 snaps, right? Where he was good against the run. And that's kind of what he was right there. Now, he only had 13 snaps. I mean, it's kind of hard to even gauge a game only getting 13 snaps, but he was a pretty good tackler. And he was just, when you're in the 60s, you're just kind of average. You're just doing kind of what you need to do. It's not that you're a plus or a negative player, because I'm not seeing missed tackles. You're not seeing, he gave up a reception in coverage, right? But you got 18 plays that he played in the third game, and that was his worst game. But I mean, it's only 18 plays. Like, it's hard to gauge it. But now here's a sample size. There's a sample size. No Marcus Davenport. Opportunity. And there's a bunch of Lions players. It isn't just Josh Pascal. It's called opportunity, right? That's a plus score. That's a guy that's heading and trending towards it being a plus player. Good tackler. I like seeing that trend. What these other ones that don't have anything on, when they don't have any stat, that means he didn't have an opportunity to tackle. He didn't miss a tackle. He didn't get a tackle. So in the 18 times that he was out there, the play didn't come his way, but they grade the plays anyway. Okay. Was he in the right spot? Did he run the wrong way? I don't know how they grade these, but that you can grade 2 games where he didn't actually have anything happen to him. He had no tackle. You know, how he got after the quarterback. He probably got blocked, right? But now here comes opportunity. Opportunity. So let's go back and look at 2023 and you'll see that he really didn't get as much opportunity. You're 17, 17, 22, 39 there. Started getting up there a little bit, 31 a little bit, getting a little bit of work. But still, he had somewhat of an opportunity last year, but definitely not as much. So he's getting hurries. So he didn't have as good of a year last year. And in 2022, there wasn't as much because he was injured for most of that year. So, but there's something to be said about the third year in here. And I could be wrong. I will stand on here. I'm just one of the believers in Josh Pascal. I really liked him coming out of Kentucky because he brings a different skill set as a pass rusher. These guys we have to sign, Aleem, Iffy, or Derek. They still pick up the 5th-year options for Hutchinson and JMO, keeping them on cheaper rookie deals. Here's the problem I have with that, Jeremy, is like a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, like the minute that he becomes available, you got to go and make the deal because it's only going to get more expensive. You pick up the 5th-year option, that's fine, but you're going to pay 2-year down the road market value. That could be the difference of $5, $6, $7, $10 million a year. You might have to pay him $40 million just by waiting that long. So the minute that you can go get and lock up your elite pass rusher, that you got to do that early. Now, you pick up the 5th-year option on somebody you're not 100% sold on, and in a sense, that person's going to be betting on themselves in that scenario, because is he going to be able to live up to that? He's going to get paid like a top 5 player in the NFL, at that position. That's how it works. Now, if he doesn't live up to that top 5 billing, then he's not going to get that elite money. Well, Aiden Hutchinson's going to get top value. No matter what year it is, he's going to get the max value. He's going to become the highest paid defensive player in NFL history in some form or some fashion when it happens. Like that's inevitable. I think that's inevitable unless Hutchinson falls off and becomes not that player. But I expect Hutchinson at the end of this year to be considered one of the top 10 players in the NFL. And you're right. You can pick up the 5th-year options, but smart money says that they're going to pay Hutchinson sooner than later. I think he becomes instant. So out of these guys, Aleem, Iffy, or Derek, I think that the minute that Hutchinson becomes available for a contract extension, he jumps all 3 of those guys. I promise you. I feel that if we are winning the game by 3 scores, they should let Hooker play. I like that. You like that. Thank you, Maurice. Remember, it's the 3rd year for Pascal. His prove it year, just like JMO. Yep. The same thing for Hutchinson. This is that year 3, baby. Let's see what they do. And so far, JMO and Hutchinson are showing out. Pascal had his best game. He had his best game all around, his all-around defense. 71.1 tackles. He had he had 1 tackle and he had 1 assist, 2 hurries from the pass rushing. So I don't know. I've been a believer. I've been on that Pascal train since he came into the league. Give him some game time experience as long as the game isn't a risk. Yeah, he hasn't been a plus player yet. You know, he needs to break out and become a plus player, but he hasn't been a boo-boo yet either. So, when I look at Pascal, he has a different skill set. Like, he isn't going to get pressure from the outside. He sets an edge. He's good against the run. He sets the edge well. But on third down, he's the type of guy that you can move inside because his best pass rushing move comes from the interior in the 3 techniques. So he hasn't gotten a chance to really showcase that yet. And it hasn't really translated to the pro level yet. But if he is to be good, I think that they're going to be able to use him as a weapon on third down because he can move inward and you can flip-flop him and Levi because they both, like, Levi offers a little bit of edge. And the same thing with Pascal. He offers a little bit of interior. So they love these versatile guys that just kind of work within our system. So then it's up to almost up to Aaron Glenn to get the most out of these guys in there. But I dig him. I've dug him since he came out. Hutchinson is going to get paid. They don't have to do it right away like we did with Panay. Pick up the option, and it gives you a whole offseason. Yeah, but it could be $10 million more. Yeah, you don't want to wait on a guy like Hutchinson. That's why they got these guys out of the way quick. You know, you had to go in with Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra was in that contract year, but you did Panay early because Panay ain't going to get cheaper. They got him done before Darrisaw and everybody else was done. You know, but I don't know. I mean, either way, but they got some money in the bank right now at that $28 million. So when people tell me, hey, we got to go trade for so-and-so or go spend all this money to bring in this guy from the outside, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh my God, we got enough money to pay for Aiden Hutchinson right now. Shut up. I want to pay my own guys, you know? And then when it comes to the offseason, we'll have a whole bunch of cap space then to be able to get, you know, Aleem, Barnes, or, you know, Jeremy, we're just going to have to disagree on this. It's not waiting. It is waiting. It is waiting. The market value of the player goes up all the time. I mean, you saw it happen this year with Amon-Ra St. Brown. You saw it happen. I mean, he signed his deal and then it was like boom, 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 boom. It's going to go up and up and up. The next highest pass rusher is going to come up, and they're going to, I mean, pass rusher, especially pass rusher, maybe even more than the next round of pass rushers. They're going to be pushing the envelope here. They got 30 for the offensive tackles. Well, they're probably going to try to get 35, 40. And if you wait that extra year, we could be paying $40 million a year for Hutchinson. You know, we're already in a 35. I think they're going to have to pay him $35 million a year. Not waiting the entire, yeah, get it done in the offseason. We agree there. We agree right there. And the way that they work the other contracts, Jeremy, is it's like they built in the 5th-year option and then added the extension on top of it at the high money. So I think that they're probably going to do it in a similar way, right? I mean, it's I believe they'll do it in almost the identical way that they just did the Amon-Ra and in Goff and Sewell. It's like they get it done to where it's like you're going to finish out your deal. You're going to get a 5th-year option, and then we're going to tack on the extension starting that year, and everything else kind of remains the same to finish out the contract. That's what they did for all 3 of those deals. So I wouldn't expect them to change anything right there. But they'll get it done. They'll get it done. He becomes the priority. That, in my opinion, that's what'll happen. Aleem and Barnes and Iffy, they're right there. It's in that order. Aleem, Barnes, and then Iffy. That's the 3 that I would sign them in that order. When the offseason is over and Hutchinson becomes eligible to extend, he jumps all 3 of them. He'll get that deal done, and then they'll trickle down, and then they'll get the other ones done, as many as they're going to get done out of those 3. Get ready for boring off seasons, guys. I don't think they're going to pick up a ton of people from the outside anymore. We want to extend our own guys and go in with the guys that we've been going in battle with. Ooh, this is a good conversation. We might have to continue it on Friday because tomorrow is the lock picks. It's going to be Pick'em Thursday with Main Event Mike, and hopefully we're going to get Mark Schmidt in here for that. Darcy's got a show tonight. I didn't get a chance to get the graphic in there for it, but he's got John Macaroon, Walter Stringer, either myself or Main Event Mike. I didn't get a chance to talk to him about that yet, but we're going to have a Villain Squad representative, and that's going to be going live tonight. And let me see if I can find something that I can throw in here for you. It's going to show me. Nope, he didn't send it to my message, so I can't bring it up from here. That's all right. This is the Hump Day preview. Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. We ended up talking a lot about the future and not going out and getting high-priced Band-Aids. Chemistry over hype, baby. Yeah. Lions tend to extend contracts rather than create a whole new cap hell. We don't want to be in cap hell. Right now, the cap is fluid, and it's like water, and we love a fluid cap. We can keep all these guys. Like Jeremy's saying, it really don't matter. We're going to bet a beer over it, and Jeremy and I will go have a beer. I'll buy him a beer, or he'll buy me a beer over what gets done first. But the idea is if they go out and they trade for a player and they mess with that fluid salary cap, then what are we doing here? That's the point. Because I think the Lions have a good enough team and we went over the PFF stats between the Lions and the Cowboys. And according to PFF, we're just better. We're better in so many different ways. We should be able to run the football right at them. We got Frank the Tank running downhill. We're pissed off. We're mad. It's okay to be mad. Let's get in there. Let's get it done. Tigers. How about them Tigers? Hit that like button if you think they're going to be a winner today at home against the Guardians. Smash that like button if you think we go up 2-1 in the series. The Cinderella story is happening. Let's get it done. How about them Tigers? Who's going down to the game? Who's going down to the game? Bring them Guardians on. Get them out of here. Let's go. Nice to have them drops back. Feels good. This is the Lion Villain Report brought to you by NFL Shop. You can get yourself, follow that QR code, or you can use the link that's in the comments and get 30% off your order at NFL Shop. Thank you to our affiliate marketing partners. Approaching 50,000 villains on our Facebook page. Give us a follow. You want to follow the villain? We're approaching 55,000 villains. It's forced me to make a new graphic. I want to make a new graphic that says 55,000. And it's going to happen today. Less than 10 people. We need less than 10 people. Hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, the villain on YouTube at Lions Villain Squad. Subscribe. It's free. It's faith, family, and then football. In that order. If you're using stars, my wife has a page. She's an advocate for autism awareness. And we're dedicating our entire STARS program to helping her share resources for parents to have children with special needs. And we are also tracking my son, my cute little son right there, Riker. He has a rare genetic disorder called 2. He's one of less than 20 in the world. And the University of Michigan is going to track everything that he does in his life. And we're sharing the journey that we're going through with the University of Michigan on her page, as well as sharing resources for parents that have children with special needs. So if you comment using stars, that's what we're going to do it, because it's faith, family, and then football. It's in that order. Faith, family, and then football. We use football to create memories and spend time with our family. We don't let football use us. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow for the Lion Villain Report. Peace and love. God bless.
Hey yo, the lies told that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes win. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity.